What this is currently doing is processing books. It So the books have already been processed. In this case, this is Thinking Fast and Slow, which is a relatively famous self-help book about adjusting your cognitive approach. And so there's a local library. It has already been processed. It went from being a PDF to being in markdown format. And now what this is doing here is it's taking all of those markdown files and it's doing what is called vectorization. So it's turning them into an array of numbers. This will allow my core AI to interpret the numbers. And understand, this AI is local to this computer, which is an old as hell HP computer. I got this thing for $100 a number of years ago and have refurbished it to an extent. It could use a little bit more TLC at some point, but it's doing quite well. What most people don't realize is a lot of computers can be made exceptionally useful with very small modifications, but it's similar with a lot of things. And I specifically like HP, at least a lot of their historical products, because they are bomb-proof computers. You can drop them sometimes onto hard surfaces and they do well. They last forever, basically. I've had HPs dragged to the grave. I've done crazy things with HPs, like some of my most intensive repairs have been on HPs. They need to be more cracked, though, so that they don't have these dangerous backdoors. But anyway, yeah. And this just is creating a reference library that I then will be able to use. So as I use the AI, I can ask it, hey, I have this particular dilemma, I have this particular problem, I would like to read a section of my library or sections of my library that deal with this problem. Please give me a summary of what I would be reading. And then I'm doing the reading myself. I'm doing the learning myself, the internalization myself, and only using the AI as kind of a guide. And thusly, it's called a librarian. I have right now about 20 or 30 books, and the system is all set up so that I can process more. I have a list of over 100 more that I will be adding. And again, that's all local, so I don't even have to be on the internet. This computer is not online right now. And so, yeah, told you I'd show you. So, I just went and picked some apples, and now I find myself here in what I would describe as a liminal space. And I was just thinking about I'm awake, my usual nighttime flow, but I'm probably going to have to switch to the daytime. Reason being that my bike is still on the fritz. I have some small amount of money coming in soon that will be able to fix it, but right now I fundamentally need to eat. And so I'm at a place where I can either seek charity or I can work. I got a lender bike from a friend. It's a road bike, not electric. Doing deliveries on that is going to be a hassle, especially with my normal late night deliveries, because those are usually drink heavy, like from fast food places and things like that. And so I'll have to be awake more. Probably the lunch shift is going to be my ideal time to take a road bike and do deliveries. And so, yeah, I'm having to kind of mix it up. I'm not necessarily looking forward to it, but that's the nature of the work. And oftentimes we have to do things that we don't want to do to be able to achieve things that we want to achieve. That's an important life lesson. So I have a couple of options when it comes to my next several days. I can wait out for the money that will allow me to make a grocery trip to really buy my necessary bike parts, a week's worth of groceries. Or I could completely change my sleeping schedule, run out in the middle of the day, go and make some money just to be able to buy some groceries. The way I see it is that it's likely healthier to just fast for however many days it takes for that money to get here. Then take a nice pleasant walk to the grocery store and get my groceries then. Rather than flipping my whole sleeping schedule around, which I do work hard to get. I don't maintain a sleeping schedule so easily. So the fact that I feel tired right now when it's coming on morning is a wonderful sign, and it's something that I don't want to just overturn so that I can more easily do delivery work or something like that. Rather, I think I'm going to try with my full battery pack, as it's a little bit rainy, to work on some programming. I'll get a little bit of film of that whenever I come around to having something of note. What I'm trying to currently do is a little bit complicated. I'm trying to localize a large language model, so like these AI that we see, to essentially perform what is called RAG, which I believe stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, although that's not precisely what I'm doing with it. More accurately, I'm using it as a kind of librarian for a massive library of books, so that it can tell me places to go and read information so that I can learn to do something myself. I've used AI now for a couple of years with my work, and I found that it's not worth using to generate large, complex concepts for many different reasons. One of the main reasons is that you end up with a lot of things that then you have to figure out in post that aren't necessarily arranged the best or made the best. When I'm writing something from scratch, what I'm trained to do, it ends up better. And so I would rather just have a personalized, fast way to find citations for these concepts so that I can read even a whole chapter, even multiple chapters, to determine how to approach a problem. So I'm trying to get a localized AI model working to allow me to do that. And I've gotten some steps toward doing that, and so I suppose that I may continue with that while I undergo this relatively spontaneous fast. And fasting is healthy, by the way, when done carefully. I have access to multivitamins, food, well, not food. I have access to multivitamins, water, and worst case scenario, I do have access to food. If I really need to push it and go and get some food from somewhere, I'm sure I can. But rather than seek out charity, rather than flip my whole schedule upside down, I think I'm just going to take it easy and get my sleep, um, and reconsider once I wake up in the evening. So, I am taking a seed called dock and I am converting it into a sort of flour that I will then be able to consume. And thus, between that and giving my environment a much needed cleaning, I have determined my day, and indeed, I won't have to completely fast. It still is a fast. You know, even if I eat quite a bit of this, it's still uh, less than what I would normally eat, you know? And I think sometimes that is a good thing. Definitely. So I went ahead and got some money. I ordered a pizza. Um, I got some beer, uh, things like that to celebrate. And I had enough. I got one necessary bike component. I have more money on the way, and I will get another necessary bike component. I didn't end up actually fasting as much as I expected that I would have. Instead, I actually went to a sort of community kitchen and got a good amount of food. You can only go once a month to that particular place, but I got a lot of interesting raw ingredients. Because I didn't understand how the system worked, I only got one can of marinara sauce. I could have gotten six. And so I probably won't be using that service again because I'm simply moving on. But either way, it was very helpful. I've been eating turnips and carrots and fish and things like that for some time, and the money has landed, so thusly my bike repair will be underway.